Hello and welcome back to Analog Sticks. My name is Rusty and today I have a special little video for you. If you haven't already listened to this week's podcast, we covered South Park: The Stick of Truth, and I decided that I am going to rank every single character you can befriend on Facebook in the game. Now there are a few stipulations I want to make clear before we begin. First, I'll only be taking into account each character's appearance within the game. For instance, Mr. Garrison is one of my favorite characters in the show, but in the game he doesn't do much of anything, so he ranks fairly low. Additionally, I've put some characters into groups, as their friendships are all gained in the same way, and it's easier to talk about them in one group, much like the Goth Kids, for example. Alrighty, with that out of the way, let's get ranking. Coming in at number 90, we have Kelly Gardner. Kelly's found sitting outside of Clyde's house on her phone, and if you try to talk to her, she'll suggest you talk on Facebook instead, then proceed to add you. If you try and talk to her after this, though, she won't talk to you. Number 89, we have Miss Biggle. Henrietta and Bradley's mother is seen sitting on a bench downtown, and if you talk to her, she'll add you on Facebook, only never to be seen again after you leave. Number 88, we have Officer Barbrady, the man who was once the only police officer in South Park. He can be found standing in front of an office downtown, and if you speak to him, he'll become friends with you on Facebook. That simple. At 87, we have Miss Linda Stotch, Butter's mother. She'll be sitting on the couch inside her home, and if you speak to her, she'll send you a friend request, and you can both move on with your days. At 86, we have Leroy Mullins. Leroy's on top of the news office downtown, and if you get to him and speak to him, he'll add you on Facebook. At number 85, we have Millie. She's another character found in town who will add you if you talk to her with no other stipulations. However, she is hiding in between Planned Parenthood and another building, but if you see her, you can break the snowman blocking the path behind the buildings, and you can get to her there. At number 84, we have Nelly. Despite thinking you look like a serial killer, if you speak to Nelly inside the Pleases and Sparkles Club after recruiting the girls, she'll add you on Facebook. At number 83, we have Jessie. She's another member of the Pleases and Sparkles Club, and once you complete the group's mission, she'll befriend you just because you seem like such a deep thinker. At number 82, we have Esther. She can be found hanging out in the news office at any time, waiting for her piece on childhood narcissism to drop. And if you talk to her, she'll add you on Facebook. At number 81, we have Big Gay Al. Mr. Slave's beloved husband doesn't actually appear in this game, but when you're strolling through his husband's bowels, you can briefly talk to him on the phone, and he'll befriend you, but that's about it. At number 80, we have Sharon McCormick, Kenny's younger sister. She spends most of her time sitting on the couch at home, and if you talk to her, she'll add you on Facebook, despite probably having no means of checking it. Poor kid. At 79, we have Francis, and he can be found near Kenny's house, and he claims he's built an unbeatable frost giant. But if you defeat his snowman, he'll be in a state of shock and awe, then befriend you. Next, at number 78, we have Kelly Rutherford, and she can be found sitting at the bench at the bus stop, and if you're popular enough, she'll gladly add you on Facebook. Next, at number 77, we have Lola, and much like Kelly Rutherford, Lola, who's found at the post office, will add you on Facebook if you have enough friends, but she wants 10 more than Kelly. At number 76, we have Stephen Stotch. Butter's father can be found in his home reading the paper, and if you speak to him, he'll add you on Facebook with the hopes that you'll let him know if Butter should be grounded. Additionally, he's found in the PTA meeting at the community center, speaking about his concerns of the new Taco Bell being built. At number 75, we have Stuart McCormick, Kenny's father, notoriously an alcoholic, so it's no surprise that he befriends us after we wake him up outside of Skeeter's bar. I'm just glad he could make it to work. At number 74, we have Kyle's father, Ike Brochlowski. He can be found at any point outside of his house shoveling snow, and you can add him whenever you'd like. We all know it's good to have a lawyer friend, even though he is livid about the new Taco Bell. At number 73, we have Leanne Cartman, Eric's mother, who asks him who his new friend is before being told by her son to shut up. If you try and talk to her in this sequence, Eric tells you not to talk to her because she's not part of the game. But if you speak to her after your first trip to Koopa Keep, she'll add you on Facebook, and for good measure, she too is seen at the PTA meeting. Next up at number 72, we have Mr. Adler, the South Park Elementary School shop teacher, who can be found in the community center as a member of the PTA board. If you talk to him after retrieving the recordings for them, he'll add you on Facebook, but no screwing around. At number 71, we have Principal Victoria, the elementary school principal. She's basically running the PTA board with Randy, and much like Mr. Adler's friendship, hers is simply gained by speaking to her in the community center after you've gotten the recording, but her dialogue's a little bit better, I suppose. Next up at number 70, we have Mr. Garrison, the boys' 4th grade teacher, who can be found on the PTA board much like his co-workers. Additionally, you can befriend him much like you do them by talking to him after you turn in the recording. At number 69, we have Sheila Brochlowski, Kyle's mother, who can also be found on the PTA board. And well, she doesn't do anything special, but S-Wow Titty Bang gets an extra point in my book. At number 68, we have Chris Donnelly. Chris is playing on the elf faction and seriously hates you because you're not an elf, obviously, but when you unite the factions, he'll begrudgingly befriend you, and well, that's about it. At number 67, we have the Crab Person. He's another character that you'll find in the sewers who will befriend you once you can get to him. And since you cleared the path to him using Nagasaki, he's now free to take over the world! It's a nice callback to South Park is gay, but not much elf. At number 66, we have Pete Melman. Pete can be found in the attic of the Donovan's garage, and there's nothing special to him other than the fact that he wants to make sure you don't believe anything you see about him on Facebook. Coming in at number 65, we have Douglas, and he can be found in the building next to Unplanned Parenthood if you manage to get to him using the anal probe, and he'll befriend you because breaking and entering is cool. At number 64, we have Santa Claus. The symbol of holiday cheer can be found on the roof of the police station after the first night, checking the police database records. If you get up there and speak to him, the jolly old man will add you on Facebook. At number 63, we have Dougie and General Disarray. Poor Dougie. Cartman won't let the little guy play because he's too ginger, but at least Butters lets him be a squire on the side. Talk to him outside of Butters' home and he'll befriend you. But that isn't all, because if you manage to find Professor Chaos's lair in the town's U store, Dougie, now dressed as General Disarray, will also befriend you there. I guess he's got 2 accounts. Coming in at number 62, we have Bradley Biggle. Now, Bradley's seen hiding in a bush near Stan's house, and you can see him at the start of the game, but you can't chat with him until you get access to the Gnome's Dust, where you can sneak through the bush and chat with him then. He'll befriend you afterwards. At number 61, we have Jessie Rodriguez, and when you and the girls are working your way into Unplanned Parenthood, they point out that Jessie is a pure example of a slut, and when she approaches the group, they all happily greet her until the moment she walks away, where they call her a skank. Following that, she'll befriend you afterwards, strictly because you weren't mean to her. Funny how that works. Coming in at number 60, we have Carol McCormick, Kenny's mother. She doesn't do much in this story other than give you the garage key to her house so you can get the secret ingredient for Mr. Tweek from the meth lab being run in there. If you visit her after delivering the ingredient, she'll add you on Facebook. At number 59, we have Romper Stomper. This little delinquent can be found in the holding cell at South Park Police Station, and if you go upstairs and get the key from the locker room, you can free him and befriend him. Coming in at number 58, we have Damien, the son of Satan, of course makes a brief cameo in this game. He appears at any point hanging out in the movie theater, and if you talk to him, he'll add you on Facebook after expressing disgust towards Rob Schneider. Number 57, we have Mr. Hat, Mr. Garrison's hand puppet, who we can find while rummaging in the depths of Mr. Slave. You end up stumbling into him and he acts as a ladder, but once you climb him, he'll add you on Facebook. Does this mean he's alive? I don't know. Coming in at number 56, we have Ike Brochlowski. Kyle's brother can always be found playing on the playground in the pirate ship, but in the final mission, he's tasked with setting off some fireworks in Clyde's fortress. If you do it for him, though, he'll befriend you and continue with the group towards the top of the tower. We love Ike here. At number 55, we have both Bill and Fosse. These two are missable friends. They're in the attack on the school, and if you help them defeat some enemies, they'll befriend you and then call you gay. Now at number 54, we have Lemmy Winks, the class pet, who can be found during the attack on the school, and if you go into the 5th grade classroom, you can find him running free, and if you manage to chat with him, he'll befriend you on Facebook. At number 53, we have the Chinpokemon Toy Corporation. If you're a completionist and manage to snag all 30 Chinpokemon throughout the town, you're rewarded with a friend request from the Chinpokemon Toy Corporation. They don't do anything outside of that, but it is cool to get a neat little in-game reward for completion. Next, at number 52, we have Polly Prissy Pants, Eric's doll, who will befriend you if you attempt to speak her with Eric as your active companion. If you do, Eric, as Polly, will respond. At number 51, we have the Kindergartners. If you talk to the Kindergartners on the playground, they'll challenge you to a game of hide-and-seek. Each one of the 6 hidden youths will befriend you once you find them all hiding throughout the town. Number 50, here we have Mr. Henke's kids, Simon, Cornwallis, and Amber. They all have gotten lost in the sewer, and it's up to you to save them from the perils of the depths of the town. Once you defeat some enemies, They'll each add you on Facebook and head home. Number 49, here we have the Woodland Critters. These Satan-loving forest friends will each add you on Facebook as long as you accept Satan as the true Lord after you find them in the woodland forest. Personally, I'd say Satanism is worth it for 12 friends. At number 48, we have Red, another member of the Pleases and Sparkles Club, and she runs the Sparkle Boutique where you can buy some equipment. Once you become an honorary girl, she'll then befriend you. Coming in at number 47, we have Sharon Marsh, Stan's mother, who's also the receptionist at Tom's Rhinoplasty. If you buy something from her, she'll befriend you, but other than that, she isn't really seen anywhere else in the game. Number 46, here we have Jason White, who runs the Elven Armory, and if you talk to him, he'll befriend you, after telling you that the elves craft the finest shit in all the land. Number 45, here we have Scott Melkinson. With the power or curse of diabetes on his side, Scott tends to the Koopa Keep stables before Clyde's banishment. Then he briefly takes over the armory following his departure. Speak with him at any point for another friend. At number 44, we have the ghost animals in Mr. Slave. The Sparrow Prince, the Frog King, and the Katata Fish may not have performed bass to mouth with an underage fish, but they do tell you the path through the digestive tract, and they'll each befriend you after meeting them, or in the Sparrow Prince's case, defeating him. Coming in at number 43, we have Skeeter and the Bartender. Skeeter, the owner and operator of Skeeter's Bar, is one of the few characters to really play into the fantasy theme of the game, albeit very sarcastically. He sends you on a quest to kill the rats in his basement and resolve his health code violation. Once you do so, he and his bartender will befriend you. At number 42, we have Dog Poo. He's one of the elves in Kyle's backyard, and he gives you a quest to tear down the Koopa Keep banners throughout town. Once you finish the quest, he'll befriend you just before appearing in the background for the rest of the game. Coming in at number 41, we have Sergeant Harrison Yates, the boss of South Park's police force, who will befriend you on Facebook after you become a junior detective by giving him 5 Nazi zombie rings once they're all out and about. Now at number 41, we have the Minister of Montreal. He's being held prisoner in the caverns of Canada, but he's needed to translate a document for the girls. Once you free him, he'll add you on Facebook and translate your documents. Next at number 39, we have the Duke of Vancouver. After being sent his way by the Canadian princess who's betraying her husband, he'll befriend you and send you to Terence and Phillip, who will teach you Nagasaki so you can free the aforementioned Minister of Montreal. At number 38, we have the Bishop of Banff. The Prince of Canada sends you his way to kill him, and he says he'll disappear if you spare him by taking dire pig balls as a trophy instead of his own. If you don't murder him, he'll befriend you. At number 37, we have Earl of Winnipeg. The prince sends you his way to get the document translated, but he's currently being overrun by dire bears. Once you defeat them, you find that he can't translate the records and he sends you back to the prince, but not before adding you as a friend on Facebook. At number 36, we have the Prince of Canada. The Prince of Canada holds probably much more power than he should, and you go to him to get your documents translated. But he's holding the only man in Canada who can translate it prisoner, and he sends you elsewhere to get it translated. Then he sends you to kill a man, and once you give him his much-desired trophy, he still refuses to help you, but he will add you on Facebook before running off. At number 35, we have the Princess of Canada, the spouse of the prince, and she loyally stands by his side until he walks away. Then she aids you in actually getting the help you need, but her husband refuses to give you. Coming in at number 34, we have Mayor McDaniels, South Park's mayor, who tasks you with getting rid of all the homeless people in town if you visit her office. Once you succeed, she'll befriend you, then shoo you away until you're of voting age. Coming in at number 33, we have Wendy Testaberger. Wendy is one of the leaders of the Pleases and Sparkles Club, and once you're made an honorary girl, she'll befriend you. She is involved in every part of the process of becoming an honorary girl, and she's seen front and center at the final battle, so she gets some extra points there. At number 32, we have Bebe Stevens. She's one of the main members of the Girls' Council, and she thinks it's hot that you don't talk. She sends you on a quest where you pose as her boyfriend to catch Monica Ryland in the act of hitting on you. Once you complete everything and become an honorary girl, she will add you on Facebook. Next, at number 31, we have Annie Nelson. She's one of the girls of the Pleases and Sparkles Club, and she's being tormented by rumors that she's a slut who had an abortion. You help her out and clear her name, and she'll befriend you after all of that. Coming in at number 30, we have Heidi Turner. Now, Heidi's another member of the Pleases and Sparkles Club, but it's found in the abortion records that she was the two-faced bitch spreading all the rumors about Allie Nelson. But since she's really sorry, Everyone forgives you. If only we were all that understanding. Either way, she'll add you on Facebook. Coming in at number 29, here we have Monica Ryland. Monica, another member of the Pleases and Sparkles Club, is suspected to be the two-faced bitch. The girls naturally send you in as Bebe's boyfriend to see if she'll hit on you, and when she does, her boyfriend gets jealous and you have to fight him. Afterwards, though, she'll befriend you, because why not? Coming in at number 28, we have Annie Knits. She's initially found outside City Hall being bullied by some older girls over her Justin Bieber doll. Once you rescue her from the bullies, she'll befriend you, and additionally, she's your liaison to the Girls' Council, and found in the final battle. Coming in at number 27, we have Timmy Birch. Who doesn't love Timmy? Here in Stick of Truth, he owns and operates Sir Timmy's Fast Travel, the game's fast travel service. Once you unlock all the checkpoints, he'll add you on Facebook. At number 26, we have Kevin Stoley. And there's always that one kid, you know? Kevin's the kid who wears the Star Trek gear, and if you find his iPad, he'll befriend you and join your alliance. He won't change out of his Star Trek outfits, though, and keeps speaking in space jargon, so of course, that drives Eric absolutely nuts. At number 25, we have Jimbo and Ned, who run Jimbo's Guns. And if you go in there, they'll gladly equip you with any tactical gear they can legally sell you, including the gas mask quest item. They'll also talk to you about hunting and send you on a mission to hunt the rare beasts of South Park. And if you buy their wilderness guide, once you defeat all these creatures, the pair will add you on Facebook. Coming in at number 24, we have Father Maxey and Jesus. The local Catholic priest is found sitting on a bench near Town Hall. And if you speak to him, he'll tell you that he's worried that today's kids just can't find Jesus. He basically then tells you to go to the church and find Jesus, who's just hiding behind the pews. When you return to Maxey, he tells you people often find Jesus just to lose him later, so you end up having to go back to the church and finding Jesus again, though this time he's hiding behind the podium, and once you use the lights to reveal his shadow, you can talk to him again, and they'll both befriend you. But that's not all, because Jesus will give you a rosary that can be used to summon him in battle. How handy. At number 23, we have Mr. and Mrs. Tweek, the owners of the local Tweek Bros coffee brewed locally with locally grown ingredients, who won't let their son outside to play until he finishes organizing the stock and picking up a delivery of their secret ingredient that just so happens to be meth. Tweek asks you if you can pick up the ingredient for him and bring it back while he finishes up in the store. If you buy a $15 Speed Potion Ultra from Mr. Tweek, both parents will befriend you, and I must say, Mr. Tweek's dialogue is fantastic. Coming in at number 22, we have Shelly Marsh, Stan's older sister, who will kick you out of her room if you try to enter, until you enter battle with her alongside her brother. If you're able to defeat the evil she-ogre and reclaim her younger brother's iPhone, she'll add you on Facebook because you hit well. Also, I must say her attacks are very interesting. Coming in at number 21, we have Mr. Mackey. The South Park Elementary School guidance counselor pops up a few times throughout your journey. The first of which is in the school where he's keeping Craig in detention, and I must say their back and forth is priceless. After freeing Craig, we next see Mackey in the PTA meeting at the community center, where we practice the sneaky squeaker on him with Randy. While these Mackey moments did get a chuckle out of me, we also find that he did not get over his hoarding problem, as he has us dump a computer monitor in his overly cluttered unit at the U-Store. He'll befriend you once you do that for him. Number 20, Terence and Phillip. The two Canadian monks found on an island in Vancouver befriend you after they take you into the Matrix and teach you Nagasaki, the most powerful flatulence at your disposal, after you impress them with your other rectal abilities. At number 19, we have the Underpants Gnomes. You first find the Underpants Gnomes stealing your garments on night 2, and when you confront them, they'll shrink you down and attempt to flee. You pursue them and defeat some of their best workers in a very interesting scene, and then they task you with stealing some more underwear to compensate for them. They give you the gnome dust, though, which allows you to shrink down on command, and once you return a fair amount of undies, they will befriend you. At number 18, we have Mr. and Mrs. Henke. Everyone's favorite Christmas poo appears in the sewers beneath town in his tiny Christmas house. He and his wife, who is incredibly intoxicated, are engaged in a shit show of a domestic dispute that started because the kids got lost while Mrs. Henke was too drunk to watch them. You don't touch that situation, though. You just go out and rescue the kids, and once you do, they'll both befriend you, but Mr. Henke will become a daily summon. Coming in at number 17, we have Mom, your mother, who, much like your father, supports you and wants you to go out there and make some friends, but she's much more caring and feels like she's always there for you. Once you have enough friends, she'll add you on Facebook, but man, she's just so nice. Number 16, here, following your mother, we have your father. In this game, he's a supportive, albeit very sarcastic dude who just wants you to go out there and make some friends. He's very well written, but you do see him do some unspeakable things to your mother later in the game. Once you get 50 friends, though, he will befriend you. Coming in at number 15, we have the Goth Kids. Fuck the conformists. In order to befriend Michael, Pete, Henrietta, and Ferkel and get them to join your cause, you must conform to them. They send you on a quest to get clothes that match them, as well as coffee and cigarettes, and then they send you to protest the meeting at the community center. After dancing like a monkey for them, once you do, all four will add you on Facebook and become loyal warriors for your cause. Coming in at number 14, we have Clyde Donovan, who first appears in Koopa Keep as the armor and weapons merchant. He's additionally the first combat tutorial as Cartman has you fight him, but when the elves attack, Clyde fails to protect the Stick of Truth, and Cartman banishes him from space and time. This, however, ends up turning him into a major antagonist, and also if you don't talk to him before Cartman, you're never going to be able to befriend him. Coming in at number 13, we have Craig Tucker. He's another warrior of Koopa Keep, until later becoming a traitor and fighting against you. You have to free him from Mr. Mackey's detention early in the game so he can join you in stealing back the Stick of Truth, and his confidence in his rescuers is just great writing. At number 12, we have Mr. Liu Kim. Shitty Walk take a order prige. When entering City Walk for the first time, Mr. Liu Kim informs you that he's been overrun by those damned Mongolians and being forced to serve Mongolian beef that makes you shit your brains out. He then tasks you with going to the Tower of Peace and defeating all of their children to scare them out of the neighborhood. After fighting through the tower and the Mongolian horde at the end, Mr. Liu Kim becomes not only a friend, but also a summon to help you take out your enemies. Coming in at number 11, we have Tolkien Black, one of the best warriors of Koopa Keep. Tolkien must be brought out to fight and protect the stick in the early game, but the only hitch in this plan is that you have to pass the security guard to get in his house. Once you withstand his barrage of pepper spray and defeat the guard at the gate, he'll befriend you and hang out in the background for the rest of the story. Now we're entering the top 10, and to start it out, we have Mr. Slave. Mr. Garrison's ex-lover has a more prominent role in this story than most, seeing as he is one of the areas you actually get to explore. Aside from disarming the snook placed in him, we must also deliver him his package at any point earlier in the game, and upon doing this he'll add you on Facebook and become a summon character for you to use. At number 9, we have Tweek. Tweek can first be found in the back of his parents' coffee shop, and if you help him finish his chores by picking up the secret ingredient from the McCormick's garage, he'll add you on Facebook and join you in the fight to protect Koopa Keep, then be seen hanging out in the background for the rest of the story. Coming in at number 8, we have Kenny McCormick, or Princess Kenny in this case, who is one of the most faithful companion characters you have from Koopa Keep, and is around throughout the whole story. But she ends up making some questionable decisions near the end of the plot, in which she becomes the true boss at the end. So much for loyalty. Number 7, we have Jimmy Vollmer. Everyone's favorite handicapped comedian is a high-ranking elven bard. You must pursue him in an early mission and endure his transical tunes, before later having him as a companion character after you join the elves or merge the factions. If you help him collect a flute to enhance his bardic abilities, he'll befriend you. Number 6, here we have Ike Brochlowski. No surprises here, but Kyle's definitely ranked highly. He is the leader of the Drow Elves, and a good one at that. He'll fight by your side after you unite the factions, and is loyal to King Douchebag. Starting out the top 5, we have Stan Marsh, or Stan the Great of the Drow Elves, who becomes one of your friends and is a good companion character following your new recruitment by the elves. He gives you a mission to take down the she-ogre and is a pretty good all-around fighter, and is there for most of the story. Coming in at number 4, we have Ike Cartman, the Wizard King, ruler of Koopa Keep, consumer of 1,000 cheesy poops. He guides you through the majority of the story, and as you've probably guessed by now, he's a pretty big part of it. Full of his normal, absurd, and humorous nature, Cartman's one of the best friends and companion characters you can get in this game, although he won't add you until you unite the factions. What a dick. At number 3, we have Al Gore. At first, he's seen hiding behind the movie theater in a disguise where he gives you a super serial mission to set up some man-bear pig trackers. Once you finish that mission, you can meet him in his storage locker at the You Store It, and he adds you on Facebook, but then relentlessly spams you with posts that equate to nothing. If you go back to unfriend him, he challenges you to what seems to be a pretty tough boss fight. If you succeed there, he shoots you one last message saying that Man-Bear Pig is real and he's in South Park. If you go where he tells you, you'll find Al Gore dressed up as Man-Bear Pig for the real final boss of this game. Coming in at number 2, we have Butters Stotch. Butters is the first character you'll meet on your journey, and in turn, your first companion character. He'll accompany you throughout the majority of the story, and as always, he just gets relentlessly pushed around by everybody else, and he loves to tell you the different ways he's been bullied all over town. Here it is, the big one. Last but not least, number 1, we have Randy Marsh. Randy is the most involved of all the parents in the game, and you can find and befriend him during the first night on the alien spaceship, but he's involved in several other places throughout the story, including at the PTA meeting where he expects you, the silent hero, to explain the alien situation. He's also seen in Unplanned Parenthood where you end up giving him an abortion. He also teaches you the sneaky squeaker and is one of the few people who can actually see what you really do. Alright, and that rounds out my rankings of every friend you can get in South Park: The Stick of Truth. Now, I know you're probably going to go fry me in the comments. Just please don't be too mean. I'd appreciate that. But either way, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time on Analog Sticks. Bye-bye.